So one of our other recently completed projects was Longhouse Farm. We were engaged by Antonia and Steve really to come in and overview the whole of the ground floor, which just wasn't working for them. It was an existing farmhouse that had been added to over the years, but nobody had really stood back and thought about the flow to the house, how you entered the house, what was your experience as you walked through the front door. So we really got to grips with changing the layout of the ground floor completely, and also how the space is then related to the garden, because the house had a fantastic garden, a beautiful sort of sheltered courtyard to the side, and that just wasn't being used by the family. So we made quite a lot of fundamental decisions, but actually then that unlocked the whole ground floor plan and allowed us to make the flow much better.
I think particularly with this one, it was more about taking the existing footprint, and there's a series of spaces in that existing footprint which weren't in the right order, but it wasn't a matter of, doing a substantial refurbishment in terms of removal of walls. It was about shifting certain elements around. For instance, the kitchen was very deep within the house, no relationship with the garden. That space existed adjacent to the garden. It's just a matter of shifting that kitchen to
the side of the house,
to that location. And then the living space that was there was shifted back to where the kitchen was. Now, beyond that point, there was the other issue, which was entrance and circulation. Again, a similar scenario. There was no, at the entrance, we needed to introduce a point in which you entered the building, and then these spaces then were connected properly. But that point in which you entered, which we said this is where you should come in, was the utility space. So it was a matter of shifting that utility space adjacent to the new kitchen location in a space that already existed. So we created again, which we always try to do, is the story from the front door. So we come in, we enter then a corridor entrance hall that links these spaces together, that as you turn, you're through to one space, and then you turn, and then you get that, again, that view through now, straight through the kitchen, straight through onto the garden. What we tend to do is, as a practice, we're problem solving. It's a matter of coming in, again, getting the diagram right from the beginning.
I mean, we see this a lot, don't we, where houses have been added to, people have thought, oh, I need some more space, and just added an extension on without considering how that impacts on the rest of the flow of the house. And so quite often we find ourselves sort of unpicking those decisions. And as Edwina said, it's about starting. Our starting point is the existing space you have. We want to maximise that. We don't believe in rooms that are never used. We want to think about multifunctional rooms as well. That's really important. And then by doing that as our starting point, we can then analyse, well, actually, we don't need to add on much space at all. I mean, Longhouse Farm, we probably only added on, 12 square metres or something. And what I really like about this scheme as well is we're obviously working with quite a historic building. There's original oak beams in there, but we've managed to also make it feel contemporary.